guys, welcome back to the Funny Thing Is podcast. I'm your host, Nicole Birch, where every week we bring you somebody who shares a life-changing event, the medicine they took to get better, and the funniest lesson they learned along the way. Today, I'm very excited to present to you my two favorite people who are a multi-hyphenated duo. They direct, they write, they produce, they act. You guys do it all. Welcome, Selyna Warren and Marissa Reed.
Yeah. Hi. Thanks for having us.
I'm so excited you guys are here. Okay, so usually I tell people how we met, which I think I met Selyna first through Groundlings, right?
Yes.
I don't even think we took a class together.
I don't think so either.
I just saw you perform and I was like, holy shit.
Same.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay. And then I was doing a show, Seven Guys.
Yes.
And then that's when we started working together.
I was the girl who masturbated with a blender on stage.
Oh, yeah. Oh, the
Not
long
for the
distance.
show, just for herself.
Yeah, just for herself. It had nothing to do with the show. So sweet.
You emailed me being like, do you have a blonde friend? I was
Yeah.
like, yeah.
Yeah, you're like my best friend. So you guys also go by S&M,
Yes.
since it's Selyna and Marissa, which I absolutely love that. And that feels very on brand. What else would you guys like to talk about? So I did research, and you guys, because I've seen Foursome on YouTube, all 4 seasons.
And you came and visited set.
Which was like the highlight of my life, because I was like, I am part of the entertainment industry now.
That was us too.
It was amazing. And that set was great. Where was that? That was like in the valley, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was-
Canoga Park.
Yeah, it has since burned down, that soundstage.
No.
Yeah, center stages.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I loved that. Oh,
know.
that sucks.
Bummer.
Yeah, but that was great for you guys, right?
Yes.
Best learning opportunity.
Huge. And that was through Awesome.
Awesomeness TV and
Yeah.
YouTube Originals was the studio.
Yeah, that was phenomenal. And it was great work. And I was
We were
like,
real
holy.
lucky at that streaming boom.
Yeah.
But it messed up our brains for like the rest of our careers because we're like,
Why?
oh, it's super easy. You just like pitch a show and then it goes for 4 seasons.
Yeah.
And then we'll like pitch and not sell things.
Yeah, we pitched to Nickelodeon after that and
Yeah.
sold the pilot in the room, and we were like crying on our way to the car because we were like, they didn't even pick it up to series.
They didn't like us. And our producer was like, you're actually insufferable.
Yeah, I was like, get a grip.
You guys- You're insufferable. So I was trying to think, I was like, what would I call Foursome, or what I think like your guys' style is? Because you guys have pitched stuff before where I'm like, holy, that's freaking genius. And then I looked it up and you guys are listed as like R-rated comedy nostalgia.
That's how we've branded ourselves.
It's so perfect.
Yeah.
It's so perfect for you guys. And like, so when you guys met, how did you guys meet? Because for you guys to have the same style of work, it's so specific and niche. Did you guys come up with it together, or do you guys think like separately you were already in that kind of pocket?
Yeah, we bonded because we were so similar.
Yeah.
We went to musical theater school out here.
AMDA, you put school in quotations.
Yeah.
Yes. Got it.
College.
Got it. AMDA. Okay.
Selyna was my RA.
Okay.
And we went to a party, and Selyna obviously was the RA, so she was supposed to be breaking up the party, but instead we were like photographs of us taking shots, drinking from a glass boot.
Oh,
So
a good
Selyna got
RA.
fired. I got kicked out of student housing, and we pretty quickly, I mean, we both kind of felt like we were the odd man out at
Yeah.
that school anyway. Like, we weren't super musical theater-y. We just went there because we wanted to move to LA, and it was like a way to go to school.
do it. Mhm.
It was a 1.5-year program, and we're like, we'll be out before we're 20. Like, we were 19 when we graduated.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So after that, we
I didn't know it was
together.
I didn't know it was a 1.5-year program.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
All
why
right.
school.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I bet it's a lot of fun.
It was fun for like a musical theater kid
Yeah.
from like, Chicago. It
Yeah.
was great.
That's great. Okay, so keep going. So you guys met.
So then we moved in together after I got
Perfect.
kicked out of student housing. Selyna got fired, and
And then we were like, basically, writing was the new way in. It was like we were acting, but we weren't getting any jobs or
Okay.
very rarely. And we were like, let's put ourselves in what we create. And we were like, that's kind of how it all started of like, what should we write? And obviously you write what you know, and what we
Right.
know is teen trash for the most part.
Did you do Groundlings too?
I did, but we sold our show when I was in advanced improv, so
Okay.
I dropped out.
Yeah, good for you. Who needs it?
Well, I just like
Do you regret-
had
you
missed too many classes,
Yeah.
so I wasn't going to pass anyway.
Do you regret that?
No, I mean,
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
Don't. Yeah, you guys are killing it.
I mean, I would like do anything to go back to that time.
Okay,
and-
first of all, all of this just reminded me of one of my favorite productions when you do the one about all 3, the UCB Groundlings. What was that
Oh,
called?
Comedy School, the musical.
It was so phenomenal.
Thank you.
I don't know if there's a world in which you ever bring that back, but it was
I don't think
so
so.
perfect.
It caused so much drama, like ended friendships. It was like a big.
Why?
People
What?
were mad.
It was fantastic.
Comedy school makes everyone a little nuts, myself included. And I didn't mean anything like negative by it. It was like a diary entry, but some people.
Wait,
were
was it like people that are still like main company that were mad?
Yeah, they were like,
okay.
you were being
Okay.
like, they thought I was like portraying them or whatever it was, but. And I get it. I mean, maybe if I had made it, like I would have felt wild too.
Yeah, I mean, no, I love like Groundlings. I love like taught me so much in how to like write for 40 hours a week for free. Like I loved it, and the performance stuff of that. But it is interesting. The culture of it is just fascinating,
It's
and
a
the
cult,
fact and
for
that
sure.
it's a cult.
Yeah,
because I remember. It always seemed to go up to like level 3 where you're like, well, I have to hang out with these people afterwards and I have to do all the
Yeah.
networking. And then you find out that your friend, and I did a little UCB, but then I found out my friend who was more UCB was like doing the same thing. Oh, I got to hang out at Birds and I got to talk to all the people. And I'm like, we're sweating over here to hang out with these people that are like
it was
doing
so
national
fun,
commercials.
though. It's only
nuts.
not fun when you're done.
Yeah, that's it. It sting. And like, I remember it would sting for a while. I think I felt the worst for the people that would be finished after like level 3 or maybe even 4, which at the time was like writing lab and advanced. And then they just didn't do anything after that. Like they took it so personally and just stopped and like moved back to Omaha. And I was like, no.
I mean,
that
I get
doesn't-
it. It changed my DNA, not
Yeah.
getting it for sure. Like, I think it made me lose hope. Like
Yeah.
I moved here with being like, LA, this beautiful, magical place. And then when I got cut, I was like cynical.
Yeah.
'Cause-
All of a
'cause
sudden,
you were
all of a
sketch
sudden.
comedy like all the way.
That was the dream. I mean, I was 22 when I got cut.
Girl.
So.
Girl.
Brutal.
As somebody who didn't even move out here till I was 27, I'm like, you're a baby.
I know,
I'd
I'm
be
like, let me
shaking
do
you.
it again. Let me do it again. But after the musical, I don't know if they will.
Oh, after the musical, no.
They're
It
like,
was
no.
so good. Oh my God, it was so great. And then like you even include Second City, which was great. Okay, so do you guys have a life-changing experience you'd like to share?
Yeah.
Go for it.
Yeah. We both made pom-poms at our high school. It was our life-changing experience.
Is that cheer squad?
No.
Okay. What's
No,
the difference?
that's-
We didn't have
yeah.
that. We had dance, or we had a drill team, which was the dancers. And
That's
then we
like, we're drill team, but with pom-poms.
okay.
Yeah, so
Okay.
it's like a dance team essentially. You're
Right.
performing halftime.
Halftime.
Great. Okay. That's what we did, but you're right. We didn't have pom-poms.
Yeah,
Okay.
we had pom-poms. We also had a drill team that didn't have pom-poms, and they were more like hip-hop. We were like,
That's what we were. Yeah.
we were like pom-poms. Like,
Oh my
think
gosh.
Dallas Cowboy cheerleader, like
Oh.
kick lines. And,
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys for real about it. Okay.
Mine was competitive. Like we went to state. We didn't place very well at state, but we got to state.
That's
so,
huge.
Yeah,
Okay.
huge.
We didn't
Great.
compete. We were all for show for halftime.
Do you guys think it's a sport?
No.
Oh, I was gonna say yes.
Not my Pom Squad.
But you guys competed, so that would make more of a sense.
Yeah.
To think that it is. Yeah. Okay. And then what happened after that? You guys both made that.
I think it defined our personalities. Like why it was life changing is we like to say we peaked in high school.
Okay.
I think growing up in that early aughties time period of like the Perez Hilton era where it was like body shaming and you know like just insanity in the beginning of social media.
Right.
I mean it wasn't even social media. It was really just like the simple life and all these things and they were like you're
Like
fat. How
reality.
do you feel? Like
Yeah.
everywhere.
It's crazy because we grew up in two completely different areas. I'm from the Pacific Northwest and Selyna's from the suburbs of Chicago, but our experiences were so similar. Like
Where exactly are you from? I forgot to ask.
Bellingham, Washington,
Okay.
so north of Seattle.
Got it. Okay.
And it's like both of our squads, you couldn't join until you were a sophomore.
Okay.
no frosh allowed.
No frosh. I forgot what you called them.
You
frosh.
found out that you got accepted by getting kidnapped in the middle of the night.
Terrifying. What? What were your parents doing?
They knew. My parents knew.
My mom actually warned me. She was like, wear a bra and put on some mascara, which I really appreciated.
Okay. Good.
Yeah,
Good.
we both got hazed, which like we're some of the rare that we
Yeah.
feel like there's not a ton of girls who admit like I had a blast being hazed. You know, like there most people are like it was so traumatic and stuff, and we were like that's why it stunted us and like why we say we peaked in high school is because this thing that we we're obsessed with because we grew up on like all the teen movies and stuff, and we were like, this is what high school is supposed to be like. This is
Yeah, it felt like all those John Hughes movies and all the YA movies, they give you rules of what it takes to be popular. And like, for me, I had gone to Catholic school up until 9th grade, and then there was no Catholic school, so I was released to public school, and I was like, here's what I gotta do. I don't know anyone. I need to get invited to parties. I need to get a boyfriend, and in order to do that, I'm gonna join this squad.
I had just moved from like a place called Palatine in the North Shore, or not in the North Shore suburbs of Chicago, like 30 minutes outside. Okay. And when I moved in 8th grade, it was like, I moved to where John Hughes is from, where his Breakfast Club, where Judd Nelson punches his arm in the air. That's my high school.
Shut up.
So it was so different than the movies, though, that I was like, everything I thought was cool was like considered trashy at my high school because everyone was so wealthy.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, gotta join Poms, otherwise no one's gonna accept me. I'm gonna be totally alone.
That's so funny that you guys were completely different places in the same thing. I will say the thing. So I was class of 2000. So when I started college freshman year, I joined a sorority, and it was the year something had happened previously. Nothing big, but it was a lot of kids were getting hurt across the country by being hazed. And so the sorority did a whole thing where they were like, we aren't going to haze anymore. We just want you to. And I was like, are you joking? That's literally why I'm here. I will be out hazed by anybody. I will last the longest, get the paddles. What are we doing? And so there was this one time where I said, hey, when we go drinking tonight at the SIGAP house or whatever, I go, I want you guys to give me something to do. Basically, I had to force them to get me something to do, which was it was the first snow day, and it was heavily snowing, and the baseball field was iced over. And I hazed myself into stripping down naked and running the bases, sliding into home plate, almost ripping off my nipples. It was amazing, best time of my life. And
you'll have that memory.
And I'll always have it.
Yeah.
And nobody really asked me to do it, which is the saddest part of all of it.
It's like this weird rite of passage. Obviously, we don't want people, hazing is terrible, and you don't want people to be forced into stuff. But it's, I don't know if we're just warped and our brains are broken, or if we're like, that was so fun.
You just feel like you're a part of it.
Yeah. I mean, it's that culture. I mean, that's what it... Because I was like, that's everything I knew about sororities. Like, why would I have even joined otherwise? And I didn't want to be the... Also, I went to a D2 school. There were 4 sororities, 4 fraternities. So it wasn't like a lot of what you see where it's like everybody's super hot and super bouncy and super, and like, it was more like, let's just drink and haze each other. Yeah, let's set stuff on fire. It was whatever.
That was the same thing. When I moved to Deerfield, there was a huge hazing incident. It was like the first viral hazing incident. It was high school. In 2003, there was a powder puff incident where the seniors invite the juniors. It's kind of a passing of the torch of who's going to be cool next year. Okay. And it's hazing every year, but this year it escalated to the point where they did like blood, pig's blood, intestines. People went to the hospital, and this is like girls, and they got expelled from their colleges a week before.
Wait, what did they have to do with the pig intestine? Like eat it?
Like wrap it around their necks.
Oh my!
Yeah, it was rough. That's awesome. And the football team filmed it and then gave it to the news. It's like, you can Google it.
Oh my God.
So insane.
I'm going to add the link to the YouTube page for this because that's hilarious.
The Chicago accents are wild. It's like the bear talking about.
No.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. Okay. So so you guys peaked. You guys felt that you peaked in high school, because I personally think that that's not true. But you guys felt that, which would probably make you guys kindred spirits. So what would be like, how do you get over that feeling?
The medicine we took to get over
there you go. What's that medicine?
We are still living in it by continuing to write YA. I mean, our show Foursome was a high school centered show. And even the things that we write that aren't high school related, it's still like coming of age too late.
Right.
The medicine is like reliving these things that we miss so much. I think being on Pom Poms and like being on a football field and having the like Friday night lights on you and dancing, mediocre. I mean, we're not doing anything impressive. Okay. But just like having a group of people scream at you with a song playing, like that feeling is hard to get again in like your everyday life as an adult.
It's so weird. Have you guys gone back to like high school and like gone to football games? It is so weird, because I just remember there was a photo that they caught, and it was like in our yearbook or whatever, but it was like all of us front row in the bleachers. We all have our faces painted, like with I went to a place called Miege, so like everybody had M's on their faces, and it was my cousin was standing next to me and my high school boyfriend, and then like all of our friends, and it's in black and white, and I was just like, oh, this is such a capsule moment. And then you go now and you're like, what? If I'm not in it, it feels real different.
I live across the street from a high school currently, from John Burroughs High School in Burbank.
Okay.
And when there's football games every Friday night, like I can hear it from my room, and I'll like walk down and like grab the fence and just stare at the teenagers through the fence.
Get this creep out of here.
And I'm like, remember, Selyna? And then it's so insane. But like, that's what we do when we write things is we're like, remember? And then we're kind of like in it. And it's just this cycle of never leaving, which is why we say we peaked.
I'm never going to get it out of my face of just you every Friday night.
I'm like, hey kids, I like to dance. I'm like, touchdown, even when there's that one. I love it. I like truly love it so much. I'm like, you have your whole lives ahead of you.
Yeah, they have no idea.
I don't know if it's social media too. It's like they say our generation is the nostalgic generation because we grew up kind of in the middle of social media versus not.
Yeah.
Totally. And I think we're so obsessed with nostalgia because we're itching for this time where everything wasn't comparative and online, and like you didn't feel FOMO and you were just more present, and now it's so hard to be present.
Yeah. And like even just like phones, like you'd have to leave a message and you'd have to like, you know what I mean?
You
like
weren't available.
I mean, I'm a little bit older than you guys, so I just remember like social media didn't really start, thank God, till after I was out of college, because if any of that was filmed, it would have been bad.
Our boobs would have been everywhere.
How do you think I got free beer? Boobs, boobs, boobs. Thank God that, but now it's like, oh, you think of the other side of that and what they're missing. Because with technology, you're like, oh, it's progressive and there's so many things. It's like, yeah, but there's such an innocence lost to it.
I think it also allows you to remember things how you remembered it, as opposed to like having record of it and watching it, you know?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I mean, I recently went back and watched all of my Pom's routines, and like in my mind, I was a fucking rock star. Like I was so good, and rewatching it, I'm like, it's not great.
We did Dance Squad, and I didn't get in the first year, and it wasn't because I didn't do the moves the right way. It's because I didn't have, and they told me this in the notes, they go, you just need a little bit more confidence, which is so funny because when I went to Groundlings, that was the note that Lisa Sugar, and this is a good thing, but Lisa Sugar was like, yes, the 3 things you need in intermediate or whatever. It was like characters, space work, and something else. You need 3 things. And she was like, you have all of those, but I need you to work a little bit more on your confidence. So I kept kind of getting that note. And then I got really pissed off when I heard it for the second time in my life. And so I signed up for the next intermediate. There was a spot open with Annie Surdich 3 days later. So I literally went back-to-back intermediates, and I was so pissed off. I don't even think I had real confidence. I was just angry. And then I passed.
That
you know
anger
what I mean?
That's what it
fuels
takes.
you. Yeah.
It's just like you get that note of like the confidence thing from your youth, and you're just like, what the fuck?
Yeah. God, I mean, I feel like we have a youthful confidence, just not an adult confidence.
Yeah.
Which is a bizarre thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that works like in LA though, right? Because like then that you can feed off of that.
It's
for
funny.
material.
I find that like being stuck in your brain in high school can sometimes make everything feel like high school, like the cool crowd here in LA.
Yeah.
In the industry, you're kind of on the outside, and it's hard. Like it feels like the worst parts of high school where you just feel like you can't totally get in, or you're not worthy.
Yeah.
Or you're finding out about things on, Instagram.
Yeah. It's great. Or like,
that you're not involved with.
No, there's still times where I like you've had enough therapy now to know like when you watch something and you're like, oh, I'm jealous. Like if there's a friend of mine and we both came out here together and he's doing amazing, and something will pop up and he's like going to be in the new Marvel movie, and there's a part of me that goes, and just has that moment of, oh no, I'm not where I'm supposed to be, and like that thing.
That comparison.
But then you're like, oh, he's also the nicest guy and he like totally deserves it and he's super talented. But there's still that thing. And I'm like, if we didn't have social media, I wonder how freaking confident I would be to just be like,
You
wouldn't
would
even
go
know it.
for it more. Totally.
Yeah. I think so.
there's like a pressure to be perfect too on social media of like, I can't make something because it's not going to be that good.
Yeah, exactly.
Totally.
Like you said, it's all like comparison. But I ended up getting onto the drill team the next year. And at that point, was popular. Like I wasn't, the reason I didn't was because I was not popular, and then I was popular, and then you have confidence, and then I went back and watched footage like you said, and I was like, I was terrible.
Yeah, it's really sad.
Horrible, and like also didn't look good in the outfits. Like I wasn't that
No, I'm
skinny.
sure that's not true.
No, I just had that little like tiny muffin top.
But
you know
that
what I
was
mean?
so in.
That-
It was. I'm sorry, Britney Spears.
oh, did she have a muffin top?
But like just that tiny, because the pants were so low, like you were showing
yeah.
your pubes. So.
Yeah,
there
that's
was
true.
no
If you had
way to
pubes.
dress in that time period, even if you were stick figure.
Yeah.
The low-rise jeans were just brutal on all of us.
That and the thin eyebrows,
They're
which
coming
mine
back.
have not come. They better not do that. I'm
coming
serious.
back.
Do not pluck your eyebrows. I'm still drawing mine on. It does not.
Now they can like glue your eyebrows with like Elmer's glue, and like you just draw it like a pencil.
yeah.
Like you can fake it now to have thin eyebrows.
Oh, I need the Elmer glue one. I was doing Revita brow, and you're like, each one of those vials is $100.
No,
You have to do it
Elmer's
like
glue
5
is
times a
to
day.
hide your, to make it look like you have no eyebrows.
Oh, that's what they do. Oh, those
Elmer's-
lucky kids.
And then they
know.
powder it like on top. Just YouTube tutorial. I just learned how to do makeup from 14-year-olds. They're good.
Dude, that's hilarious. I still think it's ugly. Like, remember like the Christina Aguilera? I think those were even thinner than Gwen Stefani's. And Christina was just like a line.
I
Yeah.
know. My eyebrows were teeny tiny in high school.
Dude, I'm not great at them, but like, and you can kind of tell, but I used to do like a straight line, and then draw out. It's fucking awful.
I recently just got my belly button re-pierced.
Oh,
Talking about
okay.
being stuck in the cycle.
Oh my gosh.
I just could not have it. I needed it for myself.
That is like the craziest time reference for me, is to think that pre-pandemic I had a belly button ring.
Yeah. I mean, that was a rite of passage. That was everything all the sorority girls did or your high school friends did was the belly button
I was
thing.
13 years old when I got my belly button pierced.
Girl,
I know. My
did
dad
your
took me.
Your dad took you? Mine ripped mine out.
Really?
Almost. Like we were washing dishes, and I just went to reach up to put a dish away, and he was washing and I was drying and putting it away, and my shirt lifted up, and you can just see him go like this and look. He puts his hand on it, grabs it, pulls it, and he goes, "You have 5 seconds to take this out, or I'm ripping it
Oh my
out."
God.
Did you take it out?
Oh yeah, I put it back in, but yeah, I took it out. It's
I got
crazy.
mine pierced here in Hollywood.
Oh, I
I
like
just went
that
to the
too.
cheapest place I could
Yeah,
find.
infection? No.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
Mine's been-
It's like
mine's-
huge infection.
Mine's been infected for 15 years.
I just
It's part of it.
it's part of it. I just
It's
keep
kind of like our
doing it.
psyches. We're infected. Like there's something wrong with our brains.
Dude, that's hilarious. Okay, so after all of that, because now you're leaning into the writing, which is like what your whole career and brand is on. So I like that. That's like solid footing.
Yes. Although I think that there's part of it that kind of traps you in this cycle of, they tell you it gets better and things after high school. It's a juvenile way of thinking. It's like an insecure way of thinking that there's a hierarchy. Like you should just be happy with yourself. And, being
Right.
trapped in this cycle isn't necessarily a healthy mindset.
Okay.
So I think that writing it and getting it made and stuff, there's something hard too about like breaking kind of the unhealthy mental habits.
Yeah, because even watching Foursome, I'm trying to think of other like teen from our like Pen 15 and stuff like that. Like I'll watch stuff like that and I'm like, I do not have the gift of remembering what I sounded like back then, what the dialogue should be like. I would botch it 1,000 times. And you guys, everything down to wardrobe, aesthetic, mannerisms, and the cast, I don't know if they were, but they all seemed really close. I don't know if that was true.
Some of
Some
them.
of them.
Some of them, but I
I think we were really close with our cast,
Yeah.
and we had mostly a really wonderful experience. I mean, it was a while. It was like influencers, and they were
was
so
that before
young.
they got big, or
They were like on their way.
yeah.
It
Yeah.
was like before Logan Paul became like a
Like, he had-
pre-boxer.
Yeah, he had 2 million followers,
Yeah.
I think. So
And now he's like
I mean,
a
he's
billion
huge.
or
He
something.
like brought a monkey to set one time. It was wild times.
unprovoked. He brought him on.
Yeah, we were like, you can't have a monkey here, babe. I just made us feel old. Like, even though we're doing this
Yeah.
high school thing, it made us feel old. They took, I mean, we were
Like,
25.
oh, the directors are so not cool. They're not letting me bring a monkey to set.
We were 25, and they were like, ew, you guys don't know anything. No one would say this.
we were fully like stalking them on their social media, and then I would, in my notes section of my phone, like write down words
Yeah.
they would say and be like, what does this mean? What is wig? Wig is orbiting Mars.
What?
Yeah, like that's how they would talk.
So when you were writing something and they were like, "This isn't how you say," would you be like, "How do you say it?"
Yeah.
How would you say it?
Yeah,
I think you'd have to because everything changes so much.
And it's
Yeah.
like, even though Foursome was such a cool experience and we're so grateful, like, afterwards, there's also like a high school stigma of like, that's not cool. Foursome wasn't cool because it was influencers and because it was on YouTube Originals. So like, you guys aren't cool enough to sell to like do something by yourselves at like a Hulu or something because of where you came from. So it's all cyclical of like,
of everything. Oh,
Yeah.
dang.
Mm-hmm.
But you guys are so self-actualized in it though, because you seemed very like,
it's just something we think about 24/7
7.
every minute of every day.
okay, so what would you say the funniest lesson you learned was?
That you can go back.
Yeah. You guys go back.
But maybe you shouldn't.
And then it's a close-up of Selyna.
It's like, you should leave, but you can go back.
Okay, so let's see. What is, because you guys are here promoting.
Yes.
You guys are doing crowdfunding tell everything about it. I want to hear everything.
This is our first crowdsourcing campaign.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
for a proof of concept episodic short called Stepfriend.
Great.
And basically, Selyna marries my dad, and now she's my same-age stepmom.
That's hilarious.
And it's a multicam that's aware of itself. So like the laugh track and the ahs are
Yeah.
like characters within itself in the show, pushing Marissa's character like towards her family.
Yes.
It's kind of talking about like the nostalgic sitcoms that we grew up on. So it's like a modern take.
And how long
of
have you
those.
guys been in LA? Both of you.
Since
We moved out
07?
here? Yeah, 07.
Okay, can I just say that you've been here since 07 and this is your first time crowdsourcing? Congratulations. That
We're
is
so
amazing.
anxious about
It's
it.
terrible.
Are you? Why?
I mean, it's just so uncomfortable.
Yeah, asking for
It's
money.
awful
Yeah.
asking people for money. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm trying to remember. It's like, it's for art. It's for making things. Like it never bothers me when somebody sends me a crowdsourcing link. I'm always so pumped for them.
Right.
And that's what I'm trying to like remember. But, reaching out to our families and being like, you guys work at companies that can match donations and, all that stuff is hard. But it's a huge learning curve. And I
Yeah.
think indie filmmaking is like having a moment right now because nothing is being bought here.
Yep. Nothing.
But it's so different for us. Like, going from being in the studio system and it's very planned out and we know what the budget is ahead of time versus
Right.
like we're just going for it, you know?
Yeah,
Like,
from scratch. But I also think you guys have such a background. I mean, like more than anybody else I know that has started crowdsourcing. Like, and then you hear their concepts, or they don't even have a poster. They don't even have like a log line. And it's like with you guys, it's like, well, at least I know my money is going to go to something amazing. It's going to be a great product. Do you know what I mean? Like, so I think you guys should have confidence in that. Because I'm more willing to put money behind that now than,
We're trying. We're trying
Yeah.
not to have imposter syndrome, and we're
Yeah.
trying
Yeah,
to just
don't.
like fake it till we make it. But it's going back to high school. It's like, do people think I'm a dork?
Dork.
Like, am I
Yeah, totally.
Is this
Oh,
so
no.
lame? Like, it just made, and only 4 people liked this. That's so embarrassing. Like, there is a weird thing
Yeah.
in our brains.
Yeah.
But we would really love some support. So if you would follow our campaign
There you go.
at step, what is it?
Wait, at Stepfriend
Wait.
_show.
We're doing so good already. Stepfriend_show is our Instagram handle.
Great.
You can find out all the info.
I'll put the link with the YouTube.
Good, because
And then
who
I'll-
knows if
Thank
we
you.
said that right.
Yeah, and I'll do probably like with stories and stuff. I'll add the link to it.
Thank you very much.
What is your? Do you guys have a goal? What's the? What
Our
is it?
overall goal is $70,000. It's epic.
Great.
But we're breaking it into 2 chunks. Our Indiegogo goal will be 30, and we've got a fiscal sponsorship for tax deductibles for like companies and stuff.
Yeah, and that
Oh,
was 40.
great. That's smart.
Yeah.
That's really smart.
We're already at 25.
Girl, what?
So-
Oh, you guys are gonna hit it because you guys just started like this week, right?
We haven't launched it yet. That was just the pre-launch.
Our fiscal sponsorship is launched,
yeah.
but our Indiegogo will launch July 8th.
Oh my gosh. Okay, July 8th. Then I won't air this till then. No, you guys are gonna make it. You guys are gonna crush it. What is your goal as far as like wanting to start production?
We have a shoot date already. It's going to be September 21st and 22nd.
Great. Where are you shooting?
In
Cinepax Studios in North Hollywood.
Great.
There's like, it's a soundstage, but it's set decked like a 90s house, so it's so perfect.
Is that the one where there's also a hospital in it and a courtroom? No, I'm thinking
No.
of something else. Envisionate.
But
That's
it's
what I'm
like
thinking of.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, it's a really cool place, and it's so close to us. We rode our bikes there for the lookout.
scout.
The
Okay.
lookout.
The lookout.
Really professional.
Yeah.
For the Yoo-Hoo. But so nervous and very excited, and we're so grateful you let us come on and just
Yes.
plug away. I love
Oh my
that
gosh,
we've
yeah.
been listening to the pod and like all these beautiful and like intense stories of like healing, and we're like, we had a hard time in high school because our Pom Pom Squad.
You'd be surprised. Like you can go from, I think maybe the most, I would say, tragic, and I can say this now, like Nanor, who escaped Kuwait when she was 13 years old during the Desert Storm war. She's telling the story, and she was just a tester. I wasn't ever going to have it be an episode. I go, will you just do this so I can practice? And she was like, sure. And we had so much fun, and she was the total vibe of it, which is like, I want you to tell something terrible, but I want us to be laughing through it, which is what the whole premise is. And so like when she was like, oh, so then this guy pulls out what's it called? And I was like, a bazooka. And she goes, that's it, a bazooka. So he's got a bazooka aimed at, and I'm just like, this is exactly what I wanted to talk about. It's amazing. So you can go from bazooka to, but like the whole, we're hitting the genre because we're all just like laughing, and high school, and
Totally. I think
high school is its own Kuwait. Let's be clear.
yes. Oh my gosh.
That's going to be the quote for the show.
God. Yeah, it's rough. I mean, that's why they say it gets better, and it's horrible. It's a horrible time for people, and even if it's positive, it's still horrible.
Yeah.
Because it warps your brain.
I'm so I have a 4.5-year-old who you guys know, Marissa especially, because she spent a lot of time with you a few days
I'm
ago.
like invited over, so
She's just like, you want to come over to my house? I was like, stop inviting people.
I'm coming.
It's like, what
I'm
are
gonna
we
be
doing?
there.
You should just show up. She'd be like, whoa. Me thinking of her in high school is terrifying, which is so weird because I ended up liking high school a lot. Like there was just like sophomore year wasn't great, but then junior and senior was awesome.
And she's going to be here in Los Angeles.
Maybe.
Yeah.
We'll see. But either way, oh my God, that terrifies me if she's in LA.
My husband teaches 7th grade in Burbank.
I will send her to his school just so I would know at
The
least a
kids
teacher.
they seem like nice, sweet, normal kids. I think social media is hard, but
Yeah.
like for
But
the
that's
most
anywhere.
part,
Yeah.
they're still just like, eating pizza.
Is he at
and
John Burroughs?
rollerblading. No, he's at Dolores Huerta. It's
Okay.
middle school.
Okay, great. What's John Burroughs? High school.
High school.
High school, yeah.
That's where I am.
The
on
Burbank
football field.
stuff, those are great schools.
Yeah,
I love those.
they're good schools.
Yeah. Is there anything else you guys want to plug? Anything else where people say what your socials are if you want people to follow you on socials?
mine is at Marissa L. Reed.
Thank God she changed it. It used to have like 45 numbers in it.
It was my AIM handle that I made in 3rd grade.
Stop. I love it.
And mine is at Selyna W.
Double yeah.
W.
She was
I
making
love
fun
it.
of mine.
My last name is Warren, so W.
Double yeah. What was your maiden name? I was trying to
The
Green.
most green.
Green,
Men, even
that's
more
right.
Jewish
Green.
than you originally
And I love your
had.
parents. What? Oh, was it the not Rockefeller, the Rock? What's the theater? The musical theater?
Oh, the Rockwell.
The Rockwell. I think I sat next to them.
Oh, you did?
Right?
For Stupid Songs show?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, wild.
This is my nostalgia. Remember everything you guys have ever been a part of. It's like bringing me back.
We
because
miss Stupid Songs so much.
Yeah,
Oh,
we're
that
gonna
was
bring
so
that
much
back
fun.
eventually.
You guys have
You
to.
sing, right?
Absolutely not.
Great.
That's why I
You'll be
love
in
going
it.
because it's the one thing I wish I could have always done was sing, and I cannot. I can't. I mean, it's not
Maybe
even.
that'll be what's funny though.
There's also like huge fright about it, but yeah, I remember going to that show, and I think I was sitting at the table with your mom and dad. It was
That's
so much fun.
nice.
Stupid Songs is where tell them what it is. Otherwise, it's yeah.
It's where it's an original. It's a musical theater troupe where we sing original songs that are of the comedic nature.
They're basically like sketches, but in
Song form, and it's so good.
Like I had a song about Robert Durst about
That
being in
was
love with them.
it was so good, and you were dressed kind of like Jessica Rabbit, right?
Those were my old boobs too, so that was a real Jessica Rabbit. I've since had a breast reduction. I couldn't pull that off in the same way.
Also because her nipples are so high now. Like
Are they?
would be fully above.
They
the
sewed
dress.
them 2 inches too high. So like
I
they'll
so
show.
wanna see.
I'll show you later.
Okay.
They show in every sports, but like they'll show everyone's constantly in bathing suits. Like, oh, your nipples are showing. I'm like, I know.
Are they always hard?
No,
No.
but they're teeny tiny now. They used to be as big as my face.
Like are you talking areola?
Yeah.
Yes, that's what mine
Can I
are.
can
Yeah.
I tell the story?
Yeah,
about your
sure.
mom? Okay.
Please, we have time.
I
yes.
was with Selena's mom as she was in surgery, and she was so nervous, her mom, and she was like really like having a hard time. So
Okay.
I was trying to comfort her, and then out of the blue she goes, but if they make her breasts smaller, her areolas are going to be way too big. And I was like, oh no, they like reduced the size of the areolas. And she goes, how? Like with a cookie cutter?
My mom's smart, but that was a dumb fucking question. Meanwhile, something you don't expect when you get your breasts reduced is your areola will still be on your scar. Like they didn't remove some of the color of my. I mean, you'd have to really look for it.
Right.
So good.
They look good. They look good.
Yeah.
But like,
why'd you get a reduction to? Back pain?
I mean, no, they were just insane.
Yeah.
I was a triple D and I'm 5'2".
I remember they were very,
Like they
very
touched
large.
my belly button piercing.
Oh, girl.
Like
Did
I
you-
could
girl.
throw them over my shoulder. I could put them in my armpit and like close my arm, and you'd see my boob from behind.
I used to joke that my areolas are so big that I couldn't wear bikinis because it just goes all the way around underneath the strap.
I would in high school when I would like hook up with boys. Thanks, Poms. I would leave my bra on, and like if they wanted to see, I would be so nervous that they'd see my areola that they would just take my boob out of my bra and just like set it on top because I needed the support so I wouldn't be like down to my knees.
This is the best random part of the conversation. And if I just edit this to be the clip, people are going to be like, what was their trauma? What's it?
It's pretty
all
clear.
the area.
Full circle.
It's
Pretty
all
clear.
areola stuff. Anything else you guys want to say?
No, we're just so excited to be launching this campaign, and we really hope you check it out and
Let's do
support
it.
us in any way you
Let's
can.
give them money. Give them money, guys. That's it. Keep following us at The Funny Thing Is on all the social medias and find us wherever you get your podcasts. Talk to you soon. Nicole Birch.